Guys, the Modern Warfare 2 beta is finally here. I've got my hands on it. I've played this entire weekend. First initial thoughts I want to say, I absolutely love it. I think we're in great hands for the next 2 years with this Call of Duty. Overall, I think everybody's going to enjoy it. We're going to have a great time playing it. But I do want to take a deeper dive into things, tell you where I stand, what I like, what I dislike, things that I would like to see in the full release. Now, granted, this is the first weekend PlayStation exclusive beta. I'm sure that there's many more things to come. I'm sure that there's many changes and improvements to come. I'm sure they're going to take our feedback into play. So take everything that I say in this video with a grain of salt. Be patient, be understanding, guys. This is just my first initial reaction, my first thoughts for anybody who cares. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. I hope that you guys have been enjoying my gameplay that I've been posting. A lot of funny content with the boys. If you want to see more of that, let me know. If you want to see more videos like this, where it's just me kind of sitting down. If you guys want to see more of this, let me know. Feel free to just pop off in the comments. Tell me things that you want to see, don't want to see, what you like, what you don't like. And if you've played the beta, tell me what you guys think about the beta as well. I'm just going to dive right in with the things that I like. First and foremost, I love the new engine. I think that the new engine looks beautiful. It plays pretty smooth. I know a lot of people are saying it looks clunky and it looks slower. That's because it is slower, because if you're used to playing Modern Warfare 2019, the movement was demonic, a lot of slide canceling and YYs and all that, and there is some of that in this game, but it is a little bit slower. I don't want to say clunky, because I think that clunky sounds negative. I think that it's a bit beefier. I think that's it's a bit thicker, it's a bit girthier. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I think that it's a good way. And the reason that I say that is because it feels like an older Call of Duty that's been updated for 2022. It feels like a Modern Warfare 2, a Modern Warfare 3, maybe even it feels like a Call of Duty Ghost, as if it was made in 2022 with a brand new engine. And to me, someone who's been playing Call of Duty for like 16, 17 years, that's a very good thing. I wanted the old school COD feel. I've wanted that for quite some time. I got very, very tired of the YY slide canceling, TikTok demonic BS. I like this new engine. I think a lot of people will like the new engine once they give it a shot. I see why there is some frustrations with it, though. There are some things that could be ironed out, and we'll talk about that. For me, another thing that I really, really love about this, brand new Call of Duty experience is the Gunsmith. I think that they did a beautiful job with the Gunsmith. It is very confusing. I've had 3 days with it. I'm still incredibly confused, but I think obviously, like anything with time, as you learn it, it's going to be very, very beneficial. The thing that I love most is with the attachments in particular. It's not going to be like old Call of Duties where you have to grind the level 70 for each gun, and it takes an eternity to unlock every single gun maxed out. If you have a certain gun in a certain tree or family, they call it, you unlock that attachment for every other gun in that family. So now there's not going to be we're not going to spend a bunch of time just grinding weapons. It's going to be so much easier to unlock everything, and it's going to save us so much time, and our mental health is going to be saved as well. And we can save that grind for the camo grind, as some of you guys are camo grinders. So big thing I love is the Gunsmith. I think once we all get to know it, we're going to really, really love and appreciate the Gunsmith. It really does truly feel like an old COD, though. You're playing the game, and I don't know if anybody else has played the older CODs, it really does give you that old vibe. So I just want to put emphasis on that. If you guys are old heads, you're going to like this game. If you're someone who's a little bit more casual, you're really going to like this game. For a lot of the sweatier competitive guys, the YYers, you're gonna find pleasure in this game, but it's gonna take you a little bit more time. For the people who just like to do goofy shit like me, you're gonna love this game. Speaking of goofy stuff, I think that's one of the things that I love the most. This game introduced a lot of goofy items. We've got the Inflatable Decoy, which is one of my favorites. The shock stick like from one of the old BO2s. Oh my God! You've got the C4 drone. It's a literal drone with C4s on it that you fly out, similar to what we were doing in Modern Warfare 2019, except it's already built that way. That is a kill streak. You've got the drill charge, which is by far my favorite item in the game. It's an item that you throw at a wall, and if someone's on the other side of the wall, it kind of shoots explosives through that wall. So if you got somebody who's camping somewhere, maybe sitting in a corner, it's a very good way to get somebody out of room, or just a clear room before you run through it. So very, very funny item. Just a lot of cool things that they've added, but those are some of my favorite in particular. And for me, as somebody who goes for a lot of goofy kill cams, a lot of goofy content, I genuinely appreciate them adding those goofy items, those funny items that make the game a little bit less serious. It is a game about warfare, but we like to have fun too. So that's a good thing that they did. And just overall, just from like a big, standpoint, I think that the game just visually looks beautiful. I've only played it on PS5. But with that considered, I think that it just is a very good looking game, very bright. The color scheme is wonderful. The guns look awesome. I'm very, very happy with how the game looks. Sounds very good too. Like all the guns sound, like I said earlier, very beefy, very strong. It's just a very, very good experience overall. Now, with that said, those are all the things that I like. We're going to dive into some of the things that I dislike. Like I said, take everything with a grain of salt. This is the beta. It's very early in the beta. I'm sure there's things they're going to change. I'm sure that there's things they're going to add. So I don't want it to sound like I'm complaining, but there are some issues that I do have with the game. Some of them are minor, some of them are major. One of the minor ones for me is the time to kill. I think that the time to kill is a little fast. It feels like right around the Vanguard time to kill. I could be wrong. I'm sure somebody's going to figure out what the exact time is. But for me, I thought Vanguard was a pretty fast TTK. And this one definitely feels like a very, very fast TTK as well. And like I believe the AK-74U is like a 3-bullet kill. If they could just make that just a little bit slower, it'd be better. Or if they made it just slightly less campy. I feel like this game definitely caters to people who are going to sit back a little bit more. And I understand they want to make sure that every play style feels good. But I definitely feel like we're leaning heavily, very, very heavily to somebody who just kind of watches angles and waits. And if that's your playstyle, that's fine. But I feel like this game is very punishing to people who like to rush around. So, you know, maybe a little bit, something a little bit more punishing for campers, lane holders, or just a slight increase to the TTK. I think that would help the game a lot. Even if they didn't change that, I would still be very, very happy with the product, very happy with the game. That's just one slight issue that I would change ever so slightly. Something else that I did not like for me so far, granted it's only the beta, there's only been a handful of maps, but there hasn't been a map that I've played where I'm like overwhelmed by how good the map is. The market's a pretty solid map. It reminds me a little bit of like Favela from MW2, but a little bit less like second story buildings. I think there's only 2 second story buildings you can actually get into, and none of them really truly overlook anything. It's a fairly well built map. It didn't overwhelm me or blow me out of the water. That like none of the maps really grabbed me and said, oh yeah, I really want to buy this game. That for me was probably the best one. There's I want to say it's the hotel map. I believe it's called Hotel. I can't remember the exact name. Greenberg Hotel or something like that. Solid map. Again, fairly solid. I really wish that the bomb points were different in Search and Destroy, but overall, solid map. Nothing really like overwhelmingly positive to say about it. It's like a very visually appealing map, but the way that it plays can get pretty chaotic at times. So not a big fan. And then we played the museum map, which was huge. It felt like a battlefield map. I don't think you'll see that map very, very often in like games like Search and Destroy or anything like that. But I wasn't a big fan of that one. And Farm 18, which Farm 18, for all intents and purposes, it looks kind of like an old school COD 4 map, which I really, really like. But the middle is a shit show. It's absolute chaos, and everything else outside is just meh. It's nothing really grabs you. Nothing really is exciting about it. And the bomb sites for Search and Destroy on that map are terrible. A is basically a free plant almost every single time. So I would really like to see either bomb movements on Farm 18, or I mean, there's nothing really else that you can really change about that map. It's not bad. It's just not very good. So I really hope that we see some better maps. We were supposed to see the F1, the Grand Prix map, but I guess Activision ran into some sort of licensing issue with the cars itself. I guess Formula One owns the rights to those exact designs of the cars. So Activision is not allowed to put the map in the beta. They might not be able to put the map in the game at all if they don't resolve those issues. Hopefully they do, because I would like to see another map. And if they can't put that one in the beta, I hope they put something else in the beta, because right now these maps are just very, very underwhelming. With that said, something else that I'm not a fan of is the slide canceling mechanic right now. I'm a big fan of just removing it entirely, and it seems like that's what they did. However, you know, there's a lot of demons out there have discovered all sorts of different goofy ways to make it work. If slide canceling is going to be in the game, just put it in the game without having to do some sort of Mortal Kombat combination of moves just to get the slide cancel to work. If you want the slide cancel to work, you have to try like 40 different things. You'll see it in the gameplay. I end up mounting almost everything because I'm trying to get it to work, because if you can't, it feels like you're kind of behind because somebody else can be and you can't. So you kind of need to slide cancel in a way to try and compete with other people. So if it's going to be in the game, just make it so that it's accessible, or make it so that it's impossible. And I don't know how that's a thing to do, but hopefully they can figure it out. They probably won't. And again, this isn't going to make me stop playing the game. It's just something that I didn't want to just give you guys an overwhelmingly positive video. I wanted to give you guys my honest thoughts on the game. Recoil is a bit nutty, but it's manageable. I personally think that it's a good thing to have the recoil a little bit more aggressive, because it makes the game a little bit harder for people. But again, just a slight complaint. UI definitely feels a little clunky. I'm not a fan of this new UI. I liked the Modern Warfare 2019 UI. I liked Vanguard UI. This UI, while it looks very appealing, managing through it feels very clunky. Trying to get friends invited and in parties and out of parties is very confusing, but I feel like over time it's something that we'll adjust to and we'll end up liking the UI. And I would like to see editing weapons actually working. To edit, like, there's like so many weapons that you can't put any attachments on in the menu. It's very busted, but again, it's beta, so I imagine that will work the way it's supposed to work very, very soon. Now, last part of this video, I want to see what the camos look like. I want to see what the mastery camos are going to look like. I heard that this year's gold is going to be like the Modern Warfare 2019 gold, and I was not a fan of that gold camo at all. I personally am a fan of like a more traditional gold camo, like the COD 4, the Black Ops 1. I thought those were very beautiful gold camos, and the Modern Warfare 2019 camo just was not it for me. But I'm sure that the mastery camo is going to be beautiful. I want to see some new maps. I want to see some really creative, new original maps. And I would like to see some remastered maps. I want to see, you know, I want to see Terminal. I saw it in the Warzone map. I want to see High Rise. We saw it in the Warzone map. So hopefully that means they're bringing it to multiplayer. Make sure you guys take care of your multiplayer gamers as well. One thing I would like to see, but I know we're not going to see, but I have to say it, theater mode. We need a theater mode. Call of Duty, please. If you ever watch this video, theater mode is so huge, not just for us as content creators, but for people who want to go back, just even your casual fans, your casual gamers. A lot of people want to go back. They want to see the angle of that epic nade that they threw over a building. They want to see the perspective of the enemy that got hit with something goofy. So please, not just for us content creators, but for everybody, bring theater mode back. It's one of the greatest features in any game ever. So please, we need theater mode. I hope it's something they introduce to this game late. Probably won't, but if not, maybe for another Call of Duty, please. We need it. We need it. We need it. A true streamer mode is something I'd like to see as well. I do stream every single day on Twitch, and there's a lot of people who try and session join. There's a lot of people who, as soon as they see that you're a streamer, they like to say derogatory slurs, and it would just make things so much easier if there was a true streamer mode, which kind of leads to my next thing, in also blocking people working. And no matter what Call of Duty game I've played, when you block somebody, they can still invite you. They can still, there's ways that they can still join your session, and even if they're in your game, it just tells you that they're in your game. So I hope that there's a block feature that actually does work. It gets pretty annoying when you have the same person session joining you over and over and over again, and you have to show us offline, and trying to get into a party with your friends is really inconvenient. So I hope that they change that. I want to see snipers with all the ADS attachments, because right now in the beta it's capped, so whether we can't unlock any snipers. So I really am curious to see all of the snipers. Hopefully we get a nice bolt action, which I'm sure we will. And I would like to see the snipers with ADS attachments to see what the true fast ADS is. The MK2 felt pretty fast, but that's a marksman, so I really want to see sniper rifles true ADS potential. For all you quick scopers out there, I would like, this is a big one for me. I personally love the new spectating camera, the helmet cam. It's wonderful. However, there should be an option to switch between the two. I think you should be able to swap between first person and the helmet camera. I think that as a quality of life update for the game would be fantastic. And overall, just better kill cams. I think when you have, for instance, you guys will see when I have a C4 drone, if you guys have watched some of my videos, the C4 drone, if it goes under a bridge, all you see is the top of the bridge. You see nothing. I wish that the kill cams were just on the actual drone itself. Same thing for the Wheelson. They definitely need to improve those kill cams, and I hope that they do. Guys, that's really all I have to say. I know I went a little bit longer than I wanted to. It might have even went longer than the initial gameplay, so we'll probably have some like goofy clips on behind me. Thank you so much for watching. Again, let me know what you guys think. If you guys have been enjoying the content, or you enjoy any of the videos that I have here, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'm incredibly active on here, and I also stream every single day over at twitch.tv/LarryFishburger. So feel free to check me out there. I appreciate you guys. You have a wonderful day.